Each state operates its own accountability program that includes measuring student academic growth. And there are many different statistical models that can be used to measure student academic growth. Charter school board members and school administrators should investigate and determine the measures used in your state. Some states use comparison and normative models. The comparison, they compare how a student performed in reading, math, and science from one grade level to the next as a cohort, and how the school cohort compared to other cohorts across the state. They also compared the individual student to their prior year scores. States generally distinguish between expected growth and high growth. High growth is generally cohort academic growth that exceeds some set benchmark of expected growth. Academic growth is an important measure that teachers and school leaders need to understand to effectively plan a charter school's academic program. Charter school leaders must also be able to distinguish academic growth scores from performance composite scores. Performance composites is a calculation of the percentage of the students in a school that scored at or above the benchmark grade level on state intergrade tests. Growth progress from one period to the next. Growth is the progress from one period to the next. Theoretically, each student should gain one complete year of academic growth each year and keep pace with their age and grade level cohorts. State tests are designed to be comparable from one period to the next. There are also statistical models used to make comparisons from one year to the next comparative. An example of individual student academic growth may be that a student scored 40% proficient in 2022 school year, but only scored 35% proficient in 2023 school year. The loss of 5 percentage points would be negative growth and would mean the student did not make expected growth. And if this was the composite score for the whole school, it would mean that the school did not make expected growth. The requirement to be considered as having achieved expected growth may be that the student achieved the same score in 2022 or in 2023 as they did in 2022, or a higher score. If all students comparatively scored 35%, also that fact would be calculated into the academic growth formula. If a predictable percentage of students score, say, 38%, and the individual student made 38% or higher, that would mean the student achieved high academic growth. This is a simplified way of looking at academic growth. School-wide academic growth simply uses an aggregate of all students tested in the school. This explanation should help you see how important student enrollment stability is in your charter school's academic growth calculations. For example, your charter school could recruit a cohort of new students that are multiple grade levels behind. These students may bring down your school's overall performance score, but at least theoretically, the student's growth score should show improvement over the prior school year if you perform a good academic program at your school. Public school report cards generally consist of a composite or growth and performance scores. We discuss public school report cards in a separate video. Click on the link in the description below to access our video on public school report cards.